Crypto is about to shock the world. But just like anything, it's a wave of energy. Just like the dot-com boom, just like the tech boom, now we're in what's called the crypto boom. And there'll be many other booms as we head into this whole new age and the golden era. But this one is right now as we speak. And I said, Raul Paul said, don't mess this up over the next 6 years. This is really important. So on my channel, we hope to pull you to a 30,000 foot overview and take you out of the emotions of the market. If your emotions look or react like the market, you're going to get wrecked 100% of the time. Yes, this is a very exciting time. And yes, what I'm going to show you today, Putin talks about Bitcoin. Jerome Powell's now talking about Bitcoin. Trump is talking about Bitcoin. Bitcoin drives the market. When the dust settles, the top three will be Bitcoin, XRP, and Ethereum. I've been telling you guys that for a while now. And who's in the top three once again? Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP. First, they resist it, then they sue it, then they regulate it, then they join it. Draper. We are now in regulation and joining phase. Now, the good news about this is we're still in extreme speculation. That's where the massive amount of volatility comes from. Okay. Once regulation comes in, it'll slowly, methodically start sucking the volatility out of it. We also at about a I don't know what we're at today, 3.4 trillion, 3.6 trillion market cap, when the markets have trillions and trillions of dollars of growth. Everything's going to be tokenized. So we have to take ourselves out of what should we invest in and why are you investing in it? Okay. Everything I talk about on my channel is something I'm actually doing. I'm practically applying it. Okay. What I do may not work for you. What's more important is developing financial literacy, understanding why you're doing the things that you do. We're in a very exciting time. Bitcoin broke an all-time high last night, and you're going to see it go up. It's going to cool off, go up, cool off, but Bitcoin is going to skyrocket. It's going to bleed the altcoins, all of the tokens. Okay. Then that dominance is going to come down. Your altcoins are going to go up. Okay. Then there's going to be a wave of energy. There's nothing in nature that's in a straight line. Everything's a wave of energy. The tide goes in, the tide goes out. The sun goes up, the sun goes down. You're no different, and the markets are no different. So take a deep breath. You have to be stoic. Remove your emotions from this. We still have a long time. Okay. So let's dive into today's content. On the back end of every video, I share with you exactly what I'm doing. So first, from Bitcoin Magazine, BlackRock bought 693 million in Bitcoin for its ETF yesterday. Are you paying attention? That's how they kicked off the day yesterday. Okay. And as we continue to move on here, so Donald Trump gives us all a big congratulations to the Bitcoiners, 100,000. He said, "You're welcome. Together, we will make America great again." To like digest what's happening right now. We went from them telling us that Bitcoin's a fraud, used for money laundering, a pet rock, to the new president coming in and saying, "You're welcome." Guys, they're going to pull this underneath the treasury. And that's why I'm going to show you a video from Jerome Powell. It's starting to become more and more clear. All you have to do is study history, guys. Everything rhymes. Everything repeats itself. Remember, fiat systems last about 100 years. And now we're heading into a new system, a backed system once again. Also, Bitcoin's going to be mined for another 116 years. Is that ironic that financial systems, fiat systems last about 100 years? So I truly believe that the essence of what we're doing is, it seems because we're in the short term and we can't see the future or feel the future. You can. That's what manifestation is, bringing the future into this current feeling and paradigm. You know, the future is used for anxiety and the past is used for depression. This is the present moment. But what I'm saying about this is it's hard for us to see the reality of the future, right? Where Michael Saylor says in the next 20 years, Bitcoin is going to be $13 million, right? That's a reality, guys. Think about it. There's going to be trillionaires. There's going to be billionaires, going to be the new multimillionaire. A millionaire is nothing now. Money is going fully quantum. There's going to be very wealthy and the working poor. The golden era, everybody will have everything they need. Good, bad, or indifferent. There's going to be very wealthy and the working poor. There's going to be no middle class. Okay. So remember what I just said. So pay attention. Okay, so this is the first thing I want to show you guys, man. This was interesting. So, breaking Russian President Putin says, "Who can ban Bitcoin?" So, if you are driving and listening to this, you'll have to come back and look at what he says. It's on the captions here, so I'll try to walk you guys through it. It's about 26 seconds.
Биткоин. Кто может запретить?
He says, "Who can ban Bitcoin?" Nobody.
Никто. А использование других
And who can prohibit the use of other electronic means of payment? Nobody.
электронных средств расчета. Кто может запретить? Никто, потому что
Because they are new technologies.
это новые технологии. И чего бы не было.
And no matter what happens to the dollar, these tools will develop one way or another.
Чего бы ни происходило с долларом, эти инструменты так или иначе будут развиваться, потому что все будут.
Because everyone will strive to reduce cost, increase reliability. XRP, reduce cost, reliability, guys. There's nothing like everybody's like, oh, it's this or that. It's a wave. It's money is changing form. We need these technologies. Ripple effect, Aquarius, XRP, currency, right? We're moving into Aquarius. Very, very important. This is the golden era. This is the era of cooperation, communication. Christ is awakening. It's massive. It's massive. Okay, so let's continue on. I'll get off my soapbox of that. Then we go over to Canada. Mayor of Vancouver says Bitcoin is the greatest invention in human history.
Obviously, there's something going on here. And then when you learn more about Bitcoin, you realize, wait a sec, it's decentralized. No person, company, or country controls it. It really doesn't care what other people do. It can't be manipulated, and it's finite. It's like literally, I think it's the greatest invention ever in human history.
Greatest invention ever in human history. We are moving into the era of authenticity. Okay. A new currency. You are the currency. Your authenticity is the currency. And if you truly want to master this lifetime that we're heading into, authenticity, gratitude, and unconditional love. You want to take it to another level? Pray for those who are praying for your downfall. Forgiveness. This is the greatest time to get your shit together. Lock and load. Build that relationship with God and Christ. I boldly state this on my channel because this is what I believe in my heart of hearts. This is the greatest time in human history. It's like a portal open where we can actually finally really get that wealth for our family, the resources for our family, the land, the things that we deserve. Okay. Now, Jerome Powell talks about Bitcoin and he gives a comparison, which is pretty accurate.
Crypto. We were talking earlier also about Bitcoin, and it's going, it's rising. There's talk in Washington also about creating a Bitcoin reserve, actually. You do deal with currencies to some degree, and you have to think about some of these issues. How does crypto sit with you right now at a time when it appears that this next administration may legalize it in a much more broader way? I mean, it's legal now, but that there might be a much bigger groundswell for it.
So from the jobs that we have, what's relevant is really two things. One is just, what role should crypto assets be allowed to play in the banking system? We try to keep the banking system safe and sound. We regulate and supervise banks, and we would want the interaction between the crypto business and the banks to not to threaten the health and well-being of the banks. That's thing one. The other one just is, to the extent anybody's doing that through a bank, we would want the public to, if people are buying, crypto products and things like that, there's sort of a consumer protection aspect of it.
So basically, in essence, he's saying, we're going to bring it under the banks. The banks want a piece of it, and they will. Trust me. They'll be begging to custody your cryptocurrency.
But they should need to understand exactly what it is and that sort of thing. But we're not, we don't regulate it directly, and we don't have that big of a role.
Would you ever own it yourself?
I'm not allowed to.
You're not allowed to.
No.
One of the reasons I wanted to actually ask you about Bitcoin is, to some degree, people think that is a symbol of people's faith or lack of faith in either the U.S. dollar or in the Federal Reserve itself, in terms of the system. What do you think of that idea?
I don't think that's how people think about it. I mean, it's so,
It's
people
important.
use Bitcoin as a speculative asset, right? It's like gold. It's just like gold, only it's virtual. It's digital. People are not using it as a form of payment or as a store of value. It's highly volatile. It's not a competitor for the dollar. It's really a competitor for gold.
Boom. He just gave you the answer right there. And if you go to the CFTC website, it's shown as a commodity on the CFT website. And I think he's wrong. I think a lot of people like me are using it as a store of value. I think it's opposite. If you look at Michael Saylor's breakdown, it goes about 50% every single year. So why would I store my money in the US dollar with 19% inflation from 2020 to 2024? If you made $100,000 in 2020, you now need to make $120,000 to have the same income. So why wouldn't you deploy and transmute that energy into something that's going to continue to appreciate, right? Of course, there's massive risk to that as well, but there's risk of having your money in the US dollar, in my opinion. Okay. Oh yeah, this is huge news right here. So breaking: Donald Trump officially nominates pro-Bitcoin crypto Paul Atkins as the next SEC chair. And I think I had one more thing for you guys. That was it. Let's bring it back on my screen here. Well, here we are once again. And I will repeat the same things over and over and over again. You should fear the man or woman who changes their narrative every single week. Wisdom comes from repetitive behaviors over and over and over again. If you can look back and look at someone's consistent message repeated over and over again, you can actually measure their success. Just some wise counsel there. Okay. Remember, knowledge without wisdom is extremely destructive. Knowledge without wisdom is extremely destructive. We have a lot of gardeners in a war versus warriors in a garden. So what I've done is I become a warrior in a garden. I pray for those who pray against me. I say, okay, I love you. Thank you. What they think of me is none of my spiritual business. I have my blinders on. God, family, protect my ecosystem at all cost, and build my relationship with Christ. Who I answer to is Christ. Every night, Christ, did I do a good job? God, did I do a good job? And I know in my heart what my intentions are. So everything I share with you is exactly what I'm doing. Okay, I use the risk pyramid. It's worked very well for me. I want safety. I want a moat around our kingdom. So on top of my system, I have what's called the Rockefeller waterfall system. Because I'm the first generational shifter in my family, I'm sure as hell passing that down to my kids. Okay, and I'm teaching them. They're becoming financially educated because they're going to get the wealth passed down to them. And I put in the Rockefeller waterfall system, so the dynasty trust actually will pass the rules and parameters. So there's a dynasty trust over all of it. Okay. On the left side, high risk, high return. Cryptocurrency is extremely high risk, high return. You got to be very careful. You have to have a game plan. But I have an extremely long-term horizon. I hold 50% of my altcoins forever, never touching them. Okay. I'm holding 100% of my Bitcoin. It's my store of value, like my gold, like gold. When it profits, just like now, I hit my first exit target, which is everybody's like, why did you exit XRP at $2.70? I only exited 10% of 50% of my portfolio. It was foolish for me not to exit some of it because I've been buying since it was 17 cents. But the only reason I exit laddered on the way up is because I have every single dime allocated. I pull it down into tier 1 capital. I use cash value life insurance. I stuff it into my insurance policies. From there, I can compound. Every 7 years at 10%, my money's doubling. My principal is protected. Okay. My money's insured. There's a reason why we use insurance. It protects your ecosystem, and I can borrow against the cash value. So now I took house money, I secured it, and now I can borrow against it. I multiplied the money in 3 different ways. Okay. That's part of my strategy. I'm going to buy more silver. We're going to get more real estate, and I'm going to continue to innovate my companies to create more cash flow and repeat that cyclic process. Okay. One of the biggest things that really, really helps me is being stoic and non-emotional. That's why you just see me respond, okay, I love you. I appreciate you. I don't get involved in other people's business. I keep my blinders on. I stay focused on our ecosystem and what we need to do. And you should only speak from your current paradigm. When I say I'm getting into real estate, I say I'm not an expert because I don't know real estate. I'm not passionate about it either. So I try to stay in things that I'm passionate about, and I bring on experts to help me with those things. So I think this is really important time to ask yourself and self-reflect, where are you spending your time, right? Are you spending your time hours a day scrolling aimlessly on social, getting triggered over and over again? Or are you spending your time studying what money actually is? Money is just debt. Are you taking your time studying in the things that you want? Remember, knowledge without wisdom is destructive, but knowledge comes and becomes powerful when it's implemented. and you're not going to have all the answers. It's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to feel confusing. That's okay. You step into that. You're going to feel lost. It's okay. Step into it. Okay. So before we continue on, I want to share with you guys a massive warning. Please spread this to as many people as possible. QFS accounts are a scam, guys. Never send anybody your crypto. Ever, ever, ever. There's no influencer, to include me, that's ever going to DM you and ask you about your crypto. That's not me DMing you. That's not me commenting. Warning, warning, warning. You'll never send I'll be very clear on this. You'll never send me money directly or my team members money directly. You'll never send your crypto to us, ever. We don't have a trading platform. We don't have an investment platform. I don't care if it ruins every video. I'm putting it on every single video. It's thousands. The more, the more followers we get, the more scammers there are. We can't stop it. It's impossible. And they don't delete them. It's crazy. Okay. What we do have for you is there's two different pathways, right, to help you out. So if you go to the description of my video down there, you'll see what's called a needs assessment. I want to be very specific with that. Hundreds of people messaging me how I use cash value life insurance to store my profits and secure my family and protect my family. What I do may not work for you. So to learn about that area, fill out the needs assessment. My team member will call you, text you, email you. They'll do a full needs assessment and a retirement strategy for you. It's absolutely free. We do not get paid by the client. Okay, very important. So you'll never send my team members money directly. Then on the other side, I have my education academy, live calls, Q&A calls, community. I mean, it's a badass community. I've helped 9,000 people worldwide. God, we're going to come up on 10,000 very soon. Worldwide since 2020, get their shit together. Join my 120-day challenge. Put your blinders on for the next 4 months. You're going to wake up in a whole new reality. Okay. That is an education academy. Okay. So it's, again, we don't invest people's crypto. We don't have a crypto trading platform. So I just want to make that very clear. And that's in the description video or my social media platform. So be careful of the scammers. There is no get rich quick. Okay. Be careful of the meme coin game because it just doesn't work, man. We've helped so many people. And we've seen so many people get wrecked because it's dopamine, right? Wealthy people aren't chasing meme coins. They're not like, what's the next Pepe? What's the next? Now we're getting some exposure to these types of things. I have some SHIB and some Doge. I'm not chasing meme coins. You don't play games with your money. Rule number 1, don't lose money. Warren Buffett. Rule number 2, follow rule number 1. Very, very important. Develop a long-term fundamental strategy. And then when it gets real hypey like this, you just pull calmly on the way up. If you miss a top, you write it down, you hold your bag, and you buy more. Okay, we got 6 years, guys. We got this, okay? Now, I know your intensity is picking up because all the energy is picking up right now. Take a deep breath. Bull run number 1 is learning the game, making your mistakes. Bull run number 2 is wealth. Bull run number 3 is generational wealth. As we always say, warriors, rise, get your shit together. Let's go.